Good evening, good morning to all of you. Wasn't it unreal to listen to Dr. Apsara? She did a wonderful job improving her health, isn't it? And now she looks so happy. Congratulations, Dr. Apsara. I am Doipan, currently talking from Hyderabad. I'm a former electrical engineering master's from IIT Bombay and currently working in a semiconductor industry called Qualcomm. I hope I am visible and it would look great if you can turn on your videos. And today's topic will be a little bit, it will be deep, but it will be also interactive. So I would like to see you. I'd like to interact with you, play some games with you. Ready? You can message ready. I'll share my screen shortly. I hope it is visible. Great. Cool. So the emotion and anxiety, right? So we all know that anxiety can come from very different directions, and many of us may not be aware about it. It's also very difficult to catch sometimes, right? But today I'd like to focus on the food part of it, and I'd like to simplify it. So this will be fun and interactive. Do not feel shy to ask questions on the chat. I'll be looking at the chat sometimes, and I'll be answering your questions. And there will be someone else also to answer the questions. And feel free to take screenshots, right? Okay, let me ask you one question. How many of you like to eat something depending on the weather? Let's say now it is very rainy in Hyderabad, sometimes rainy. In Bangalore, I know it's very rainy. In Delhi, it's hot by the way, but let's say बारिश हो रहा है तो आपको क्या खाने का मन करता है? Maggie. Oh, wow. Hot and warm, spicy stuff, pakode. Yes. That's amazing. Bhaji, yes. That crunchy and hot feeling, right? Warm food, salty food, right? Right. Let's see. So, seems relatable. Even I like omelette. Omelette, and in Bengali, it's khichdi and omelette. It's a very comfort food during the rains. So everybody likes it. See, the weather can tell us what we'll eat. Weather will create our emotions, and emotions will tell us what to eat, right? Okay. Uh, let's see. Emotion part. Let's say you have a stressful Monday. By the way, Monday is far away, 2 days away. Don't think about it much. But what would you like to grab? If you are in office or if you are outside, on site, working somewhere in the field, what would you like to eat? You can also chat in the messages. Sweets, coffee, chips, aloo, oats or salad. That's wonderful and uncommon. Samosa, okay, cool. Sweets, yes, sweets. Sweets, basically, sweet cravings come from stress. Whenever you are stressed, it comes from sweets. And biryani, yes, correct. So let's see, it's relatable. So can you see, like, in the office, if you're in an office or in a nearby in a cafeteria, you'll grab something from the vending machine, or you can grab some tea or coffee. It's easy, right? It's on your fingertips, correct? Okay. Before grabbing anything, let's see what choices do we have, right? Let's see. So let's say, given this situation, what did you try? One or two. You are late for work, you need a quick bite for your breakfast, and you need to go out to work. Okay, two. That's great, Yogi. Yeah, you can respond. You can respond. And also, try to like think which one will help your brain to work more productive. In today's world, it's just not fuel, right? It's everything is available in our fingertips. One, two depends on mood. Okay, very wonderful. I like that answer. Okay, and yes, good. So yes, we'll discuss about this in detail, which will help you productivity and which will help you feel sleepy. Okay, chai, snacks. Who likes chai? चाय पे चर्चा किस किस को पसंद है, राइट? ओके, नेचर वॉक. Okay, there is very less nature though, but in some of the offices we do have gardens and all. You can walk. Yes, walking and talking is wonderful. Sometimes chai pe charcha is also good, but yeah, you need to keep a balance and you'll see what happens when, right? Okay, now there is a critical situation. Whole day of non-stop work, maybe 4 5 days a week, and you feel restless when you come back home. What do you escape? Like, what do you do to escape basically, this all this stress? Okay, I would be, I would confess that few years ago I used to play games. Okay, and I will just, shut everything down, play some games. Maybe whenever food is going or not, I would not bother. Yes, somebody is telling two. That's really awesome. You are focusing on your fitness. Okay. Ghansham is telling one. Okay, fine. Okay. Wanted for two, but ending with one. Wow. That's great. That's great. Okay. So let's see what else. So now can relate, like our emotions and our work, all these things can govern our act and specifically what food we take, right? So can you relate to this couple of things? 4 p.m. You have a lot of work already trying to get out of office. What do you grab? You have emotional stress. What type of food do you grab? You can message on the chat what type of food in each cases and what you specifically face. For example, late night, you don't want to go to sleep. You can grab a popcorn over a TV, right? So do you realize, right? So in some of the cases, there is barely any willpower that when the cravings come, right? And hormones are controlled most of your food basically. So it's a cycle process. Your food will control your hormones will again control your emotions will again control your food, right? Yeah, good responses are coming. Okay, let's see again. Okay, so let's understand what happens. So our human brain na, it has a tendency of finding the shortest path towards the happy hormones. Whenever we are feeling stressed or anxious or you are depressed, all the negative feelings or angry maybe, the happy hormones actually comfort our brain and we feel it less. And the brain will find the easiest path of finding the happiest hormone. And one of that is dopamine. And the easiest way to boost dopamine or it gives you a kick is sweet or biryani or rice or very comfort food, whatever you are, the staples you've grown up with, basically the staple food, right? And basically what happens is sugar and dopamine has a very close connection. It gives you a easy good feeling. You eat it again. And next time you don't feel the same high, right? With that, so basically you have to take more sweets, for example. Then gradually you take more and more sweets, and this cyclic process, you feel more sluggish, your brain fog comes. So you are unable to think properly. Imagine this situation, let's say in a breakfast, you are eating a lot of sweets or a lot of rice or a lot of simple carbohydrates. What happens when you go to work? Don't you grab a coffee? You can raise your hands if you can relate to this situation, right? Cool. So yes, so let's understand this cycle, this dopamine addiction cycle. What happens, right? So whenever stress happens, it can be physical, it can be mental. Physical stress means, let's say you are working very hard physically, it can occur in your gym also. So gym can also cause you stress. But internally, it's a biochemical reaction. It's cortisol and adrenaline that your basically glands are, boosting. And whenever imbalance comes, your brain and your metabolism, basically brain health will become, tensed basically. And your poor metabolism starts whenever glucose is there, insulin is there, and you crave for junk food, especially sugar. And some people have spicy food and fried foods, right? So what happens is half of this sugar gets stored as your fat because you don't need that much of food or carbohydrates or simple carbs what you are eating. And some of them, they increase your cravings and hunger. So basically, whatever reward or whatever dopamine kick or the happy hormone kick you are getting, that learning curve actually changes. As you are taking more, the brain is not receptible to the same amount of dopamine. So it needs more of that similar food. So that's why sugar will induce sugar more. Biryani will induce more biryani. Okay. But yes, again, balance is necessary. Balance is very, very necessary. But now let's see the flip side. So now you have understood that your hormones can, give you a food thing, right? You govern your food through your stress and all these things, through your emotions. So beyond stress and genetics, diet plays often a critical role, right? It's often overlooked. Food choices can either soothe or your amplify your feelings. So that's why food is very, very related to mood. Food gives you good mood, food can give you bad mood. And again, that mood will govern your food, whatever food you want to take. You only answer, right? So if you see in the left picture, see your brain, there is a nerve called vagus nerve, and it connects your respiratory system, your circulatory system, or the heart, or the lungs, and also it has a numerous nerve endings towards your digestive system. So whatever happens in your digestion system, let's say your liver, your stomach acid, if you have a stomach bloating, don't you feel bad? Like you feel bad, like a gut feeling is telling you bad, right? If you have a bloating in your intestines, right? Can you relate to that? So intestines basically send a lot of signals to the brain, and that will tell you you are feeling bad or good or whatever, right? And serotonin, as many of you know, it is a very powerful happy hormone, and it's produced in the gut by some of the microbes, by some of the foods you eat, right? And what is inflammation? Gut inflammation. Let's say you are eating some food that your body is not, accepting it very friendly, so it is fighting it. And this fighting, if it continues for a longer time, inflammation occurs. And it tells your brain, okay, something is wrong. Some fighting is going on. Can you send the antibodies? Can you send the police in the area? We have to lock down this area, right? And if this goes on for a longer time now, basically anxiety comes. Or let's say outer situation. If you see in a different way, the outer situation affects you more. So that's actually your gut-induced anxiety, right? So gut is not able to give you the happy hormones which can calm you down in the outside situations. So anxiety can start in your gut indirectly, right? So your mood can fluctuate with your blood sugar crashes. Let's say you had some sugar bite, and then again, whenever insulin goes up, the sugar level crashes in your blood. So what happens? Whenever sugar level crashes, okay, you are feeling very low energetic. You will find some food. That's when we actually grab some more food, right? And these micronutrients, these are very, very essential. Let's say magnesium, omega-3, and B vitamins. These are like, mood busters, you can say. If you are high in all these things, along with potassium also, I'll discuss more about that later. So that is like a excellent mood booster. And the most important point is the bacteria, right? Some of your gut microbes can produce mood chemicals, right? Like the serotonin. So I'll discuss about it more. Basically, what happens is when the good bacteria is high in our stomach, in our intestines, specifically in our large intestine and the small intestines. So what happens is they induce production of these chemicals, or these mood chemicals. You can remember these three names basically: serotonin, GABA, and dopamine, right? So what happens is GABA, let's say these are the same ones. These help your brain to feel calm in case of any outside situation and help you feel joy. GABA is thought to play a very crucial role in managing stress, anxiety, and fear or panic by calming down the nervous system. And it also controls your nervous cell hyper activity. Sometimes you cannot, sometimes it happens, right? We cannot focus on something, something runs in our mind all the time, right? You cannot stop this monkey thinking, this hyperactivity, all these things. This GABA is the calming thing. But everything has its limit. None of the chemicals, none of these neurotransmitters or the happy hormones cannot be very high. We already saw about if dopamine is very high, what can happen? It can induce more cravings. Even if serotonin or GABA is very high, it can be a lot of problem also. So it's like your gut. Your gut is a garden of flora, gut microflora, basically microorganisms. You need to replenish them. If they die, you need to feed them, right? So if you water them with fiber and real food, it blooms. And what happens if you dump junk food? It turns into a desert, basically, right? So who knew like having good bacteria or kida in our stomach can make you happy, right? So, happy and anxiety free. So whenever you are let's say, just a moment, one picture is not coming. I'm not sure why. Yeah. So whenever you are, feeding, ask this question: whom you are feeding? Are you feeding your short-term happiness or you are feeding your health? Yeah. Disclaimer: none of the options here are wrong. A balance needs to exist. But by the way, you can message on the chat whichever you want to prefer and how much, right? But by the way, I think you have become wiser by now. You know which one to select. Cool. So can you identify which is better, in terms of mental health perspective? What can aid long-term health? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, right, right. One, one, one. Okay, now the difficult question. How many of you are doing one and how many of you are doing two? Okay, 1.9. What is that? Oh, that's amazing. 1.9. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So basically, I am also somewhere in the between. Yeah, we have to mix. Yes, sometimes. But more towards the number one part that is, very, very important. Right? Okay. So how to choose your food? Let's discuss how to choose your food. I'll give you just one rule how to choose your food. Very basic rule. You know, what helps in your mental as well as physical health? When you are in office or in workplace, don't we grab the number one? It's very easy. It's written healthy. It's written protein bar. It's written sugar free. It's written less fat. It's written what do I say? Nutritious, vitamins, minerals, added vitamins, minerals. Doesn't the packet say sometimes? Number one. Do you agree? Yeah. But number two, it doesn't have a label. It doesn't have a label because God made it, right? Wonderful. Now it does two comforts because I hate number one. Oh, that's great, Niranjan. Wonderful. Yes. So this simple rule is whenever you are taking one food, you just check, is it created by God or is it created by some other human like me in the lab? Just check this rule, right? Okay. I'll give you 5 mistakes to avoid in case of food or activities. And you can take screenshot, you can ask the questions, right? Try to save them. Sure. So number one, coffee or tea, it's emotion of our, India. If I say Indians, we are emotional about tea or let's say coffee. But it simulates the nervous system. It's like it beats our nervous system actually. Whenever in a bullock cart, the person actually beats the bullock to run faster. It's similar to like that. which raises cortisol and it mimics the anxiety symptoms, and it also raises your heart. By the way, if you have hyperthyroidism or have any thyroid problems, you really need to avoid coffee. Talk to the person who invited you here and get assessed. I'll talk in detail how to assess. And even if you are having coffee, try to limit 1 cup a day and not after 2:30 p.m. or 3 p.m. Right? Best is drink after the breakfast, not on an empty stomach. Please avoid. Okay. Number two, simple carbohydrates. Okay, simple carbohydrates can come healthy also, like juices. So try to avoid them first meal in your day, right? It leads to blood sugar spikes, and whenever there is a spike, there will be a crash. And whenever it crashes, you will feel bad. You will feel like having another, right? So all of them actually worsen the anxiety. So try to limit them. And obviously, in the cakes and pastries, some of us cannot avoid in the parties and all, right? In the birthdays, try to limit. Now it comes the ultra processed food, which are coming as very, very processed stuff, packaged food, pizza, um, protein bars, which I was talking about, lot of highly processed, maybe termed as healthy in the labels, but actually they are destroying your gut bacteria. And whenever they are destroying your gut bacteria slowly, it's killing you slowly. Because 90%, 85 to 90% of the problems start in your gut, even cancer and heart diseases, right? So you cannot do that. So try to, avoid it completely as much as possible. Ultra processed and packaged food, right? And the trans fat, fatty liver and heart diseases, trans fat and these industrial seed oils, they are the number one culprits of our, problems these days. Okay, smoking and alcohol. So yes, you need to really avoid any type of smoking, be it vaping also. No amount of alcohol is good for our heart or, liver. You need to really, really, really get away from it. Okay. Some of us might think that, okay, fasting is great for health. But how many of us are eating a lot or eating adequate quantity when you are eating? So this is very important. Many people doesn't eat enough when they're fasting. They might skip their meals, have their meal at, in the evening or sometimes. But if they're not eating a good meal sometimes, and if the body is not adapted, it can have a lot of problems. So this thing is very crucial. Talk to your coach or the person or your doctor to understand when should you eat. And also, let's say you have proper gap between the meals. That's also important. Right. Now I'll share a big slide. Basically, you can take a screenshot. It's a detailed one. So what type of foods you can add, right? So all the things you can take a screenshot. Obviously, it is not limited to this. I have taken some of the priority ones, but the 5 groups you need to remember: the protein, healthy fats, vegetables which have moderate amount of fiber. Okay. And in the vegetables, if you see, I have included certain things called, let's say this is kefir or probiotic from coconut water, and these are again natural probiotics from cabbage and other things, sauerkraut and kimchi. These are basically natural probiotics. Or again, this pickles, this is kind of a pickle actually, and the regular pickle also that you can take. So those are amazing things. Magnesium and organic legumes. So this organic legume and desi ghee from the healthy fats, they are an awesome combination for your good gut bacteria. If you are taking this in combination, let's say chickpeas and desi ghee, take this tip very, very, seriously. Your gut and your muscles will thank you. You will be happy all the time, for sure. Okay. But if you are in a strict weight loss, you might have to avoid certain food groups. Check with your coach. Yes, it's a myth that for constipation, you need to eat a lot of fiber. No, that's not correct. Fibers can also block you. You need to eat the right type of fiber, and you need to avoid the foods which are not digested. For example, some of the fibers, let's say spinach or broccoli, they are good fibers, cabbages, but some people cannot digest that. You need to assess yourself. That's very important. Okay. This routine, you can take a screenshot. You can follow it every day. Everyone can actually do that. Starting from the morning sun, you get to the sunlight, and before your first meal, try to do some physical activity. It can be working out, running, walking, crawling, swimming, whatever you want, right? And you need to have a sufficient gap between meals and sleep, because your stomach acid and digestive enzymes, they need to replenish themselves, right? So at least 2 to 3 hours gap or more than that. 4 maximum, 4 to 5. Okay, that should be good. And even a small chips or peanut or tea, that's also a meal. So yes, in a way, you should try to avoid snacking. And daytime nutrition, you should be focused on omega, potassium, and proteins. Very, very essential. Talk to the person who has invited you here to understand how you can take them effectively for your requirement. Everybody's requirement is different. For the nighttime nutrition, this combination of magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D, and vitamin D along with the carrier vitamins is also important to take the vitamin D to your bones. So that is also very, very important. Remember that balanced meals are obviously your stable mind. You are able to think better. You are able to, be successful in your life whenever you are able to think better, right? So food is primary important. Okay, let's play some quiz now. Okay, so type in the chat, how would you improve this plate? You can type any number of combinations. Many combination you can have. You have this kind of things. There's a carrot, desi ghee, all these things you have in your kitchen. You can cook, and this plate is good. Obviously, it is a good food. It's not very worse, but not very great also. Can you improve that? Try to chat in the type in the chat what recipe you want to do. Okay, sprout smoke, make the toast and a sandwich, nuts and seed, boiled eggs. You can also give a recipe for everybody's benefit. Paneer, okay, what type of paneer? Fried or eggs fried or anything? Nuts and seeds, okay. Don't just give the, okay, Mayank has given a wonderful thing. Good. Everybody note at the chat, and as many coaches are also here, they can give you very small and very healthy recipes. You can note down, right? Wonderful, Yogi. That's good. Chickpeas chila, okay, very nice. Add salad, buttermilk, and paneer. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for your responses. See, so many healthy recipes you only told. Can you try it tomorrow? At least one meal, breakfast. Can you try, please? Cool. Another game we play, okay? So this activity, you need to improve it. What would you do? What do you think? I've already told a lot of things about activity. Yes. Okay, walk, meditation, digital detox, walking, brisk, badminton, wonderful. I love badminton. Reading book, yes, wonderful. Badminton, meditation. Eat at table, not in bed. Wonderful. Very good, Kshitij. Bath, okay. Yes, some people can bath in the evening. So after your work, it helps you in sleep. Meditation, Yog Nidra. Yes, yes, that's a wonderful thing. If you can learn it from your coaches, it can help you in your sleep. Comb your hair before sleeping, okay? Very nice, yes. Actually, it helps in blood circulation, running. Okay, good. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, night too much refined carb, need to remove this. Yes, absolutely correct. Eat early and read books. Wonderful, wonderful responses so far. So yes, I would like to, conclude this session. I hope you understood what can actually help you in case of anxiety, what activities and what foods, especially what type of foods. I hope you took some notes and took some screenshots. And yes, reach out to the coach who has invited you. You need to know basically, yourself. You need to know yourself before you act, right? Everybody's health is different. So if you are facing anxiety and stress, you need to do a stress audit. If you are having any other kind of problems, or let's say any small symptom, You can do a true north wellness profiling. You can do your gut health audit. You can do a blood test. These blood tests actually can tell you a lot of metabolic and inflammation markers that can detect your future diseases like heart race, diabetes, lot of other problems, fatty liver, all these things. Actually, you need to talk with your coach and get what test you need to do, which tests. I cannot cover it in this session because it is a very long list. Talk to your coach and talk to the person who invited you here, and you would get a wonderful idea about the blood tests, right? So if you have any questions, you can will be surely addressing them. And thank you for being such a wonderful audience. And over to you, Simran.